Peace, how's it going? Patrick, Conservative Rap, and in this video, let's talk about the political landscape that we're currently in. The deep state being trapped. We'll talk about Trump and the Patriots setting him up. We'll also talk about how Ursula's telling lies about her plane being hacked. And again, the vaccine manufacturers are slowly coming to light, and we're going to be able to hold them accountable. It's going to be awesome. They're even still going after Giuliani after more's been uncovered. So let's take a quick look. We'll hop over to X and go through current happenings. This is from Donald J. Trump. It's really from Truth. I just use this because it's a little bit more aligned. I don't have to jump back and forth between Truth and X. As the great president of the United States, I am pleased to announce that Rudy Giuliani, the greatest mayor in the history of New York City, an equally great American patriot, will receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom, our country's greatest and highest civilian honor. Details as to time and place to follow. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. And again, I wish we could bring Giuliani back, or at least find someone tantamount to his equivalent. It looks like we have just a few more months to find out what the destiny of this great city, or once great city, is going to be. My hopes are on Sliwa, and again, we'll see how things pan out. Moving on, look at this. D.C. Biden Judge Sparkle Suknanan, who issued an unprecedented order over the weekend to traffic Guatemalan kids off planes heading back to their families, is still a foreign citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. So Mike Davis replies, and he's absolutely correct. Why do these two Biden federal judges in D.C. maintain their foreign citizenship? Why do they insist on maintaining dual loyalties when they have lifetime tenure and paid protection? Are there other federal judges who are foreign citizens? This is very troubling. And it doesn't make sense to me how someone could operate in a judicial capacity and be a citizen of another country. It's like, how do you know where their loyalties lie? It's very asinine. Moving on. They protest against deportation of illegals to foreign countries, yet wave flags of the same foreign countries at these protests. Interesting. 100% accurate. You look at it, it's like it's an invasion when you see some of these protests and they're waving flags of different origins. It's sickening. This is huge and desperately needed. President Trump afloats reopening insane asylums for the mentally ill. I support this, and I think it's a great idea. For the Nothing Ever Happens crowd, let's take a quick look. Number of employees fired. 10,000 people in the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID. 75, which is 100% of them, in the Institute of Museum and Library Services. 1,500, or 86.4%, for the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And he goes on. 1,400 for the Agency of Global Media, 650 for AmeriCorps, 780 for HUD, Community Planning and Development, Trump's federal layoffs. This goes on and lists this in detail. Draining the swamp is not an overnight matter. I don't know how you feel, but a lot of these digital keyboard warriors need to calm down and slow down and let Trump and the Patriots do their job. We've been in this insane slave membership caste system with the Federal Reserve funding and controlling us since 1913, at the very least, if not before that. The speed relative to that duration of time that Trump and the Patriots are moving at, in my mind, is light speed. It's phenomenal. And it's not going to be an overnight thing where we're seeing arrest or, complete demolition of like institutionalized government agencies. The deep state and the swamp have their hands in a lot, and it's going to take time for us to get through some of this stuff. So be patient, and remember, Patriots in control. Next, this is pretty sick. I work with a lot of UK and Irish born professionals now in my day job, and I thought this was just fascinating. When Gilliner landed at Heathrow, he was met by 5 armed police officers and immediately arrested. His crime was 3 gender-critical tweets. And editor's note, also just simply being a logical person. As Graham says in his Substack, in a country where pedophiles escape sentencing, where knife crime is out of control, where women are assaulted and harassed every time they gather to speak, the state has mobilized 5 armed officers to arrest a comedy writer. Graham's single bail condition is that he doesn't go on X. We don't believe that Graham's arrest or the bail conditions imposed were lawful. We'll be backing him all the way in his fight against these preposterous allegations and the disproportionate response from the police. Thank God we have freedom of speech here and a constitution that was written to protect and instill it in our basic foundation, because these deep state operators, if they can run America like this is exactly what they'd be doing. Clandestine. What we are witnessing is baffling. Trump has proven he can stop violent crime using the National Guard safely and efficiently, yet Democrat governors and mayors are fighting both tooth and nail to preserve their crime-ridden cities. For what reason could they possibly want crime? Corruption. There's no other logical explanation. They're fighting to prevent ICE from deporting their illegals. Without their millions of illegals voting, they can't win elections, and their ability to retain power would be neutralized. This entire thing is about power, and the corrupt Dems know that their entire scheme is facing extinction. Make no mistake, this is an actual insurrection. The Dems are resisting, rebelling against Trump, and trying to prevent him from carrying out his agenda, and thus undermining the will of the American people who gave Trump a sweeping mandate via landslide. The Dems are not only refusing to enforce law and stop violent crime, but they're proving to be domestic enemies to the Constitution. Let's get the Insurrection Act on deck. He's absolutely right. These cities are out of control. What Trump is doing with the National Guard, it's long overdue. I called for it in a rap song I wrote in maybe 2018 or 2019 during Lightfoot's time. The fact that you have mayors and governors fighting him shows you what they really think of their own population, their own citizenry that they're bound and sworn to supposedly protect. Here we go. Data Republican going into the mass voting fraud of 2020. To be more precise, there was a massive spike in voting in 2020, disproportionately among Democrats. Prior to 2020, no presidential candidate ever came close to topping 70 million votes, but then Biden topped 81 million votes in that year. This was accompanied by a steep drop-off in 2024, and I can testify, being part of the early voting process, that drop-off was almost certainly within Democrat mail-in voting, and specifically Democrat mail-in voting. Most conspiracy theories fail to explain why 2024 was such a steep drop-off compared to 2020. Personally, I believe that COVID-19 plus Zuckerbucks created the unique situation wherein someone could just stand outside a door and bother that person until they finally signed off on a ballot. The 24/7 lock-ins made that a guarantee. So again, a lot happening. Let's stay aware and let's stay astute. Trump's soon going to be going after Big Pharma and economically following in the footsteps of Andrew Jackson at the same time. What do you think? Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share, and check me out at ConservativeRap.com for more. Thanks and take care.